Turtle time, motherfuckers. It is now turtle time. Oh, right, I'm streaming. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How's it going, guys? Today is going to be a cool little double dive, as the title implies. We're going to be looking into two, you know, very different, but in a lot of ways very much the same subjects. We're going to be looking at a little further into the works, the collected works and postings of one Vic George, who we looked at in a stream a little while ago, and we found out that he has, like, how many? He has, like, well into the 40s. He has 40 fanfictions, each book length, about Smurfs. Or Smurfs, as the plural actually is. He has like 40 plus book length fanfictions about Smurfs. He's been a very active member of the Smurf forum that we looked at in the previous. I unearthed an entire. Well, I didn't. I found the Smurf forum on Kiwi Farms, but from there I found this whole web of nonsense. The Smurf vein runs deep. And one of the people on the forum who was a big supporter of the story up to right this very month, when people came to that thread and said, hey, this story is incredibly fucked up and it's weird that all of you were, like, cool with it. He still supports it. Yeah, he has, like, 50-something fanfictions, book-length fanfictions about Smurfs. So that's cool. And, quite a few postings on other sites. He's an active mod over at the Smurf fanon wiki, which, oh yes, there is a Smurf motherfucking fanon wiki. I didn't know we needed a sex and pornography article on a wiki about Smurfs. But the fanon wiki, you know, it really shatters my expectations. It's like The Last Jedi. It subverts my expectations. It's great. The other thing that we're going to be looking at is something that I honestly don't know that much about. I've heard about it. I've read about it a bit. I was planning on doing a video for some time, but, you know, other things got in the way, and this seems like a bit of a heavy topic in more ways than one. We're going to be looking into a situation surrounding Dylan Hafferteppen, aka Noodles and Beef, I think is his name. And he's like this dude who has sort of this, I don't want to say cult for legal reasons, but he has this collective of gentlemen who he associates with, who he has like a master, what is it? It's like an owner and pup relationship or something. They're his pups, and he's like the master. And, yeah, he makes them, like, inject silicone. Allegedly, he makes them. Let's say that they choose to, out of their own love for him, inject silicone into their own balls and other muscles. You know, noted muscle balls. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty exciting stream. I'd like to give a big shout out to a couple people. I don't know if, I think Fade is in chat, or at least he was. Chris is sadly not here, but yeah, Assumed Chris, one of my patrons, and also Generic McName in chat, or Fate, as we know him on the Discord. They both did extensive research. Chris looked into the Vic George situation, and Fate went off, man. He gave me like so much. He gave me like 6 videos worth about noodles and beef. So we have our pick of the litter. There is so much content. I'm surprised I haven't heard more about the situation. Maybe I'll find out why when I get this video, like, taken down with, like, a privacy strike or something from Dylan Hafferteppen. But hey, everything that I'm reading here is just stuff on the internet, okay? I'm not saying anybody did anything to anybody. Except that Smurf in Hand probably did touch children. So, on the subject of Smurfs, we should really get into this situation here. Let me see. Fate posted a bunch of stuff in like DM on Discord, so I'll have to look through that in time. But for now, Chris put together this wonderful Google Doc about the Smurf stories and the man behind them. So this is going to be pretty exciting. Firstly, I just want to also shout out Tamara Jerusik with a $30 super chat. She says, "Hi, I love you and I hope the stream goes well today. Also, get game or I'll cry." Because she wants me to buy Stardude Valley on the Switch. I bought my Switch recently, as you heard me bing bing wahooing at the start of the stream. Good little console. It's a shame that it's been fucking broken from the moment that I bought it. Switch Lite, released 2 days ago. Fucking left analog stick. Yeah, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. You want to try to go to the left? You have a wing and a prayer. That's about what you got. So I'm going to have to replace this one with another brand new launch day console, which probably also won't work. So fun times. That Nintendo build quality, everybody. But yes, thank you, Tamara. And thank you, Abby Chapman, for the 99 pounds. Insomnia is hitting me hard, so nice to chill to your dulcet tones. Well, I appreciate the sentiment. I hope that you managed to lull yourself to sleep, and thank you for the contribution. This stream is supported by viewers like you. Thank you. That sounds so condescending. It wasn't meant to be. Thank you so much, but it's like PBS. So here we are. Let me get this dragged up here. There you go. Vic George 2K9. The asshole. Now these are not my words. These are the words of our lovely friend assumed Chris, who was so affronted by God she was so pissed off about the Smurf story that any opportunity to dive further into the Smurf community was, I think, a big yes for her. So big thanks to her for looking into this. As I've mentioned, there's like 50-something book-length Smurf fanfictions on this guy's site. So she didn't really, I don't think she read through all of them, because of course not. But she put together this list of tropes from TV tropes. Some very interesting ones that, probably don't belong in a Smurf fanfiction. The clan in Polaris's Smurfy new life, Hefty forms a clan-like band of Smurfs called the Order of the True Smurfs, whose single target is hatred is Polaris Psyche, who is white compared to the Smurfs. Although in this story, his skin temporarily turns blue because blah blah blah, born as an adult. Actually, psychs are grown in gestation chambers for a year until they become the equivalent of 50-something Smurflings. Blood magic. Wait, no specific reason is given for this. Oh, okay. Blood magic in Where the Wind Carries You, which is an adaptation. I have to keep checking OBS to make sure I'm not boomerang the fuck out of everything. An adaptation of the cartoon show episode Never Smurf Off Till Tomorrow. Tapper claims the blood of Jesus Christ over himself and his fellow Smurfs to protect them from the sharks that come swimming around them, ready to devour them. The sharks swim away. And the other Smurfette during the court case between Empath and Hogatha as Wonderette. Empath was declared guilty of sexual assault unto Wonderette, who, due to the lack of evidence supporting Empath's claim that Wonderette had raped him and was ready to be sentenced to banishment and complete loss of use of his abilities when the mysterious attorney Smurf appears. It's really him. has Wonderette confess her true identity and what she did, has Wonderette change back to her true self as Hogatha while blocking her magical ability, and then teleports her out of the village, leaving Papa Smurf with no choice but to declare the court case a mistrial and Empath innocent of all charges against him. Lampshaded by Empath himself when he says that instead of him winning the case, Attorney Smurf just came out of nowhere and won the case for him. As it turns out, Attorney Smurf was actually an angel sent by God to defend Empath on the behalf of Tapper. An angel sent by God. Very, very nice. Cigarette of anxiety. Duncan McSmurf decides to get stoned out of his mind with Smurfnip in an alternate timeline story where he witnesses Smurfette marrying Papa Smurf. Grouchy in the main timeline story, Smurfnip Madness, tries to resist the temptation of smoking a Smurfnip cigarette, but ends up succumbing to it and almost being arrested by Brainy and Hefty posing as police officers. Well, then they weren't really arrested. Did you just have sex? Duncan McSmurf is able to tell through his sense of smell whether a fellow Smurf just had the Smurfette dream. Fantastic arousal. In the series, a male Smurf's bald head is considered an erogenous zone. You know, just a second. I just need to drag up something here. Just very briefly. Because you can see him in the thumbnail, but in case you're not familiar, and we will be getting to his website in full at some point, but this is our man's in all he glory. And boy is he special. Got that cross going on. Look at that Jesus piece drip. Gonna like a couple of blue apostles up in here. Yeah, you know, got the hood. Seems to be inside, but he's got a hood on for some reason. Very interesting. It's like a poncho. It's like a rain slicker. I think he's trying to go for his best Papa Smurf impression. I don't know. Now, this isn't attempting to be a bully stream or anything like that. We're not bullying this fine older gentleman who supported the Smurf story that we read earlier on the channel. We're not by any means doing that. No. But we're just reading into some things that he's posted on the internet that are pretty interesting, you know? Pretty interesting stuff. So, with that picture in mind, fantastic arousal. In the series, a male Smurf's bald head is considered an erogenous zone, which is part of why they must wear the hats, though it can only be triggered by the touch of a female Smurf, or just a female in general. This was mentioned by Papa Smurf to Hefty in I Dream of Smurfette. So just a female in general. So our boy here, not a big fan of the LGBTs, I imagine. Big fan of God though. So you know, at least there's that. Fantastic drugs, Smurfnip. Glitch in the Matrix. So right, there's Smurfs getting fucking high. There's glowberries, which give hallucinations when eaten, along with a sour stomach and a bad case of smurferia. Look into this man's eyes and ask yourself if this is a joke. Do you think this is a joke? Do you think he wrote this as a ha-ha funny pee-pee poo-poo gag? I don't think so. Glitch in the Matrix. In the story Smurfing in Heaven, Empath is taken to an artificial version of Elysium, the Smurf afterlife, also known as the Smurfy hereafter, where all his fellow Smurfs were waiting for him. All my Smurfs were there with me. They all died. The Smurfette in this artificial Elysium glitches in her conversation. If you think that I'm boomerang, by the way, because I still have this picture up, no, that's definitely on purpose. That is absolutely on purpose. Goodbye, cruel world. Empath writes a suicide note for his fellow Smurfs in the novel, but also adds that he's taking baby Smurf with him. I don't like that. Magic defibrillator. In Flower Bell's love triangle, Empath uses his telekinetic, I nearly said kelatonetic, which could be something, actually, powers to generate an energy pulse. We got mind rape. We got shotgun wedding. What is mind rape? The Psych Master subjects Empath to this as an infant to erase all his memories. So, right. Chris links to, I guess I can take this down now. Chris links to some, there's a few more tropes here. Nude colored clothes. In Smurfette's Inner Beauty, Empath made Smurfette's underclothes the same color as her skin so as to fool the other Smurfs into thinking that she was modeling nude. Unironic, legitimate Smurf story, ladies and gentlemen. So, Chris put together some interesting Smurf articles, one of which is called Smurfany of the Night, by the way, which I take personal fucking offense to. If you're not familiar, the song that started the stream was Leon's theme from Castlevania Lament of Innocence, which is the PS2 one, the first one. Very good game, underrated. They need to do an HD remaster of it. But fucking Smurfany of the Night, you fucker. Can't these people not have can't they just, like I said with Pamper Chew, milking goats, perfectly legitimate hobby. Take that one. Don't make your story called Smurfany of the Night. Just okay, so those are some stories. I'm sure we'll get to those. Before we read in depth in some of these stories and find out the Smurf lore in Vic George's own words, we gotta take a look down here at some of this art, which oh boy, well, you'll see some of that. There are more, but I think these are the worst stories. I skimmed through his works, and they all have these dark, serious tones to them. Each story is uniquely fucked up in different ways, whether sexual, violent, or outright creepy. Each story is its own brand of horrible to read. Just the title cards for the stories is enough to get the basic plot of the story. Well, thank you again, Chris, for your hard work and dedication to the fair use, perfectly legitimate critique and review of interesting internet things. Definitely not a bully stream. Artwork. So, what is the Smurfette? What the Smurf has gotten into you? Smurfing goodbye to my old wardrobe, Papa Smurf. You're gonna see some interesting uses of the word Smurf as this segment goes on. In particular, I'm going to spoil one of my favorites. To Smurf with you and your story, then. In a fit of anger, to Smurf with you and your story. Like, to hell, to Smurf with you. Right. Well, let me take a look here at Kyle Clark, $5. Here's a $5, mate. Thanks for the vids. Thank you. Alexander Evans, 50 sec. Do you have Sekiro money? Wow, that's cool. Thank you. I'm assuming that's Swedish, maybe, or something. I'm sorry, I'm very ignorant. Nice to see you stream at a time I can watch you from Sweden. Yes, he says in the thing. You compared to us to Canada as pressing the wrong button. I'm wondering what you were referencing. Well, there was a thing, I forget the specifics of it, but wasn't it was something to do with, like, that copyright ban thing, like Article 28 or whatever it was? And, like, Sweden fucked the whole EU up because, like, they pressed the wrong button and they meant to press a different button. That's what I heard. That was a meme that was going around for a while. I don't know if that was true. But thank you. Totally Not Connor with $10. Legalized Smurfnip. Yeah, you know, man, it's God's gift to Smurfmanity. So let's take a look at the chat here. All women are Smurfs. All Smurfs are queens. Pamperchew is Smurf in hand. Oh, I don't know about that. Pamperchew's gone into hiding somewhat. I mean, there's... I don't know. I don't know if people... I'm not in the interest of, like, harassing people on the internet. Let the lad be. I just talked about things that were happening. But it would be interesting to know now that his channel has been evidently deleted by YouTube. For some sort of terms of service, perhaps saying, I like children. It would be interesting to know how our boy's doing, but Smurf is looking less and less like a wharf. I want to go commit Smurficide. I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've committed Smurficide. Papa Smurf is such a better one than you is. You know, he's the top sniper in the U.S. forces. Papa Smurf hires Agent 47. If she breathes, she a Smurfette. To catch a Smurf. I want to Smurfette Smurficide. Oh, you went extra Smurf in that one. I was Smurfed by Alexander Evans. Oh, that doesn't... Ooh, I don't know about that. Smurfy fingers. She a Smurf! Gonna Smurf my Murph so hard. First you yeet it, then you beat it. First you Smurf it, then you Murph it. Smurfy goodbye to this cruel world. Smurf corn. What is a Smurf? A miserable little pile of Smurfets! But enough talk! Smurf at you! I'm not proud of much in life, but I am proud of my Symphony of the Night Dracula impression. I think it's a pretty good... I think I do a pretty good Dracula impression. Shut the Smurf up. Broke back Smurf. 50 Smurfs of blue. Look at that thought! I don't know why everybody's jumping on Smurfette as a thought. I mean, yes, she's the only Smurf in the village, and as we've discussed with that one lady at the ABDL party in the Pamperchew video, there's certain implications. But let's not jump to conclusions here. Maybe they're born gay. You don't know. Maybe anything's possible. Jesus Christ was a Smurf. 50 Shades of Smurf. Did I just hear wrong, or did Claw say Soten is underrated? No, Symphony of the Night is exactly as rated as I think it should be. Lament of Innocence on the PS2 is underrated. The second attempt at a 3D Castlevania game, which was actually made by Koji Igarashi, and it's like more of a beat 'em up than anything. The platforming segments are probably the worst part of the game. And honestly, the music is probably the best part, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. People say they didn't. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. But Milking Goats has bad memories of Undertale. Did that happen in Undertale? Passion of the Smurfs. It should be a parody of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney with Smurfs in it. Somebody here has like a check mark on YouTube. Somebody named Lithunium Snow. I don't know who you are, sir, but congratulations on still having your verification thing, I guess. After the weird like thing where YouTube was like, yeah, we're taking back the verification. No, we decided to not do that, actually. I think that was a fake situation. I think they weren't planning on doing that, and they took back their decision because they were never going to actually put that into action, but they took it back so people would be like, hey, YouTube's doing something right for once. Just specifically, like, I don't know, that's my conspiracy theory, but yeah, interesting. Smurfany of the Night, Castlevania, wow. Well, I guess there's no putting this off. Although, Totally Not Connor, with another $5, says, Smurf Jesus looked up from the cross and said, forgive them, Papa Smurf. They know not what they are doing. Yeah, you know, our Father who art in Smurf, hallowed be thy Smurf. Right, so, back to the artwork. Thank you, Mr. Totally Not Connor. And back to the lovely artwork here. I always feel so safe and warm when I'm smurfing with my big blue teddy bear. We got whatever this is. Oh God, what is happening here? Do you guys okay, call me crazy, right? But do you guys see what I see in this vicinity? Someone getting fucking prone boned right there. All right, well, that's interesting. All the kids there to witness that. Oh, my poor little empathy. You smurfed away from us too soon, and it's all my fault. At least you'll still be here among us, in the form of the Smurf you would have smurfed to be. Yeah, you can't just replace Smurf. You can't just replace every word with Smurf. Like, I guess you can, actually. They can. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you can do that. There's literally no rules that say you can't do that, so I don't know where the fuck I'm getting off saying that. Right, so, this guy... By the way, the Smurf stories, this guy's whole fanfiction series, the Empath series, yeah, it started in, 1985, I believe he said. Or 1984, maybe? Yeah, 1984, I remember, because George Orwell, because DJ Orwell feels wonderful. So yeah, we have some more lovely like beach shots of Smurfette here. We got swole thick Smurf, wizard man, fucking clip art CBT wizard Smurf coming to swiggity swooty at your girl. We've got this fucking... Can we analyze briefly this most metal of fucking Smurf pictures? Somebody needs to ask this guy if they can use this on an album cover. Look at this shit. This is like a fucking Slayer. This would be the real return to form for Slayer that we've all been waiting for. Swimmer, smoky, reporter, trafficker, surfer, slugger, nabby, nosy, narrator, nudie, orbit. Who are all of these people? Are these all different Smurfs? Oh yeah, Smurfette is in the thing at the top. Gee. So I guess he died for their sins. Oh, that's cool. That is super cool. This was not made as a joke, everybody. You know, it really, I know I say that a lot, and some of you might be like sick of hearing that because it's so obvious, but you really need to hammer that home. You really need to make sure that nail is driven straight through the wood. This was not a post-ironic meme fucking YouTube poop joke. This is a real image that someone put time and effort into. Specifically that this man put time and effort into. Yes. Poor empath, I wish I could be with you in the village right about now. I promise that no matter how long it takes for Smurf back home, I will never forget about you. What? For Smurf back home? What the fuck does that... We got some Smurfette fan art. And then we have a lovely self-portrait of Vic George, looking good in the studio, in the club. Yeah, just working on his art, you know, just a little bit of art. It's perfectly fine. Little bulbous Smurf tail there. Very nice. Very nice. Right. So that was some of Vic George's art. Let's take a look at Vic George the asshole, according to Chris. This isn't my words, Mr. Vic George, when you inevitably see this video, since people have found out, apparently there's like a Kiwi Farms thread about him now. I don't know, there's interesting stuff to explore in the realm of Vic George, but, you know, I'm just looking at things that are on the internet. That's all I can say. So as it turns out, George is an asshole, according to this document. He looks like he carries a large amount of power on the Smurf Wiki, and will ban people from the site if they offend him. You are looking, guys, you are looking at the most powerful man on the Smurf Wiki. This man holds the future of the Smurf Wiki in his little hands. He holds all the secrets. Yeah, so falling out with Numba 404, another Smurf fanfic creator. 404 was allowed to stay on the site after this, only because she is a big Smurf fanfic creator herself. Numba 404 requesting another user be removed, no reply from George. Destroy user Cosgrove Fantasy? Who is this? AHS brought to my attention that blah blah blah. Is this from Vic George? Oh god. George yeets a user off the website for being angry that Smurfette and Empath get together. Looks like number 4 was a big fan of George at some point. He also thinks that nobody should expect anything of him, especially not chronological storytelling. His My Links page has links to a now deleted website called Fat, Ugly, or Slutty, and Websites That Suck, and Feminist Frequency, which I believe is not under the Websites That Suck category, so take that for what you will. It also has a lot of Christian site links, which he presumably uses for reference of his Smurf fanfics. He frequently mentions that Hynden Walsh, the voice of Princess Bubblegum and many other characters, should be the voice of Smurfette. Now, this struck me. You can't really even see this because it's very small, but doesn't this lady kind of look like a human Smurfette? She's got the same haircut. The only thing that's missing is that she's not blue. That's interesting. Very, very notable. Very noteworthy. So, here's a pic of George in a kilt that he posted to the Smurf fan and wiki. Yes. Lap that one up, everybody. Take that one in. Very good. What is that? What is on his head? Is he wearing Vermin Supreme's boot? In his website features an in memory of page with an angel Smurf and a name. No links after that, just images and names. I think these are real people that George has lost, and he immortalized them on his gross Smurf page. So, yeah, that's something. These are real people, guys, but don't worry, they'll live on forever as Smurf angels. Alright, he also has a lot of opinion pieces on his website. He gives his thoughts on video games mostly. A lot of it is just weird and way too intricate. There's more than one intensely long fanfiction world involving the Smurf property, though. These other ones seem to be the big chunky ones with lots of lore and fan art and might be worth their own deep dive. Yeah, so there's a bunch of other shit. There's a bunch of other shit. You guys think... Listen, I don't think it's... I don't think we can blame Sonic anymore, you know what I mean? I think any small cartoonish blue creature just seems to be like a magnet for weirdos on the internet. Like, this stuff dates back before the internet. This is... Like I said, this started out as stuff that he was writing in the fucking mid-80s. Not even. 84. The late, early 80s. You know what I mean? Like, the early mid-80s. Like a long time ago. This is astounding, and God knows how old some of these other ones are, and how long some of them are. Fucking hell. So I think that about does it for the document here. Is this the one? Now, is this the link that I think it is? Because I really hope this is the link. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Don't touch my pages. From number 404. I was editing them in a particular systematic way, and I don't appreciate you doing so on my behalf. Now I have more work to do in order to assure I won't miss anything while micromanaging. Thanks a lot, meh face. Oh, and while you're at it, thanks for leaving a trail of smurfing redirects everywhere, which I now have to actively track down and delete. I really appreciate that, angry meh face. Oh, and another thing. It's often said that the path to hell is paved with good intentions. I know you meant well just trying to help me out, but you really, really smurfed me over. Now I have much more work to do, and I hope God has mercy on your soul, because I sure as smurf do not. I don't touch your pages, so why do you dare touch mine? And here comes Vic George 2K9. That was all I was trying to do, to just help you adjust the new name. I'm sorry. Let me start this over. I'm just trying to make sure this is not spoiled for everybody. That was all I was just trying to do, To help you adjust to the new name of your series, I'm sorry if that was a bit too sudden and unwanted. I will leave your pages alone, but the open to community pages will be adjusted if you don't do the adjustments yourself. Number 404. Don't ever touch my pages unless I tell you I would like some help. I never told you to help me out. I had everything under control until you came in and wrecked my program. I hope you're proud of yourself, angry C-face. Don't touch anything! Don't touch anything in any of my sections anywhere! Let me do this! You'll just ruin things further! And then in what I think is honestly kind of a justified response, here's Vic George 2K9. Go to Smurf with your series then! You want to be a total control witch? That's your decision! Number 404. You have no right touching my pages after already messing up my entire system, Vic. Worry about your own pages and let me worry about mine. You stop being so controlling, and while you're at it, stop leaving redirects everywhere! So as you can see, there's quite a bit of drama going on within the happy, fun confines of the Smurf fan and wiki. I'm trying to decide if it's worth it to... I'm trying to decide if it's really Smurf it to go through this whole wiki just, like, on its own. But, here, Yep. Right. So there you go. I'm just gonna check the super chats here. $5 from Zach Carter. Smurfette isn't the only girl in the village, but she also kinda is. This crap was wild when Chris was going through it. Yeah, man, this is quite some shit. Thank you. I don't care with $2. Smurfs again. Let me get the cross and Bible. Yeah, it's weird that we're now developing as a society, as a bottom text society. We are now developing this Pavlovian response to Smurfs that it's like some weird, fucked up, evil shit. No, whatever's going on with Smurfs on this channel, it's probably not good. What's happening in the chat here? Smurf me up, Smurf me up inside. Can't Smurf up, Smurf me up inside. That song is actually pretty good. The only thing that makes it like hilarious now is the male vocals. If it wasn't for the male vocals, it would be like generally considered an okay song. But man, do those vocals add some early 2000s spice. Shut the Smurf up. Go back in your smurfing room, you little smurfing douche. Force, 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 force. The big comfy Smurf. Winkies bring the best out of Smurf kind. You said wikis, but I elaborated with Winkies. I, Smurfo Smurfana, have a dream to become a gang Smurf. Do you really think you're smurfing funny? Not really, no. But people still watch me for some reason. I don't know. You can leave. I mean, I'm not good at this. You can go. Though Barrington Bears is the best anime ever. Claw, you are a one-handed protagonist facing down a dark lord. You need to meet this man, preferably behind a Denny's, and battle him with lightsaber replicas for our amusement. Sounds pretty fun, actually. I think he'd be into that too, just judging by, I don't know, just my instinct. I feel like that's something that he would enjoy. Very childlike. You really smurfed me over his poetry. Oomph, the voice acting. I gave it my all, you know. I appreciate the oomph. Down in Fraggle Smurf. Fraggle Rock is better. Dork and Foos should do a dramatic fanfic reading. I keep getting linked. There was this one fanfic. It was like some sexy fanfic about Silver the Hedgehog working in a Pizza Hut. I don't know how that gets sexy, but it's probably something like that one classic Exodia the Forbidden One art of Spyro working in a subway. Probably something similar to that. Smurf me off, daddy. Sprays baby Smurfs with hot pepper spray and leaves game store. I was so happy when I got my Switch and I was able to get it at Walmart instead of going to the EB Games across the parking lot and supporting that fucking sinking ship. Because I looked online and it was like only available online, and I was like, oh god damn it, I'm gonna have to spend money at EB Games. I don't want to feel like I'm contributing to them still existing. And thank God I was able to avoid that. I have not spent a cent there in... Actually, did I buy anything at EB Games? Yeah, I bought something there a couple months ago, actually, but I've whipped myself daily for it since then, so we're all good. Don't smurf anybody. Sounds like a George Costanza impression. No, that's just me. That's just how I am. That's just my life. Force, 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 force. Jesus fuck, he's going to smurf him. The shouting! Typing in caps! This guy needs to calm down. I think number 404 was actually apparently a woman, I think Chris said. I don't know, but, either way, I'm not going to say autism speaks, because that would be offensive, and we aren't offensive in 2019, but Smurfism speaks. Okay, so the pornography page here on the Smurf Fanon Wiki. Pornography, often abbreviated porn, is the portrayal of sexual subject matter for the exclusive purpose of sexual arousal. Pornography may be presented in a variety of media, including books, magazines, postcards, photographs. Look at this photograph! Sculptures, drawings, paintings, animations, sound recording, phone calls, writing, film. Wow, whoever wrote this sure has an extensive knowledge of the different formats of pornography. Right down to like sound recordings on fucking phone calls. Extensive knowledge of pornography. I guess you need to be qualified to write the Smurf Wiki, the Smurf Fanon Wiki pornography article. You need to know what you're talking about. The term applies to the depiction of the act rather than the act itself, and so does not include live exhibitions like sex shows and striptease. The primary subjects of present-day pornographic depictions are pornographic models who pose for still photographs and pornographic actors or porn stars who perform in pornographic films. If dramatic skills are not involved, a performer in a porn film may also be called a model. Boy, this is more utterances of the word pornographic or porn in general than should really ever be related to the Smurfs. But, here we are. Empath, the luckiest Smurf stories. Now, it's interesting that I don't know if this article was written by Vic George. I'm not sure. I don't know how to check that on here. But it's interesting that the very first thing that's mentioned here, and boy does it have a long fucking entry, huh, is Vic George's series, The Empath, the Luckiest Smurf Stories series. In Empath, the Luckiest Smurf Story series, pornography among the Smurfs mostly exists in the form of in-universe art and literature, although it is rarely shown to anyone outside of few interpersonal situations. So it's all diegetic porn. It's all incidental porn. It's not like being forced down your throat. It's just like the camera's passing by, you happen to find a Smurf fucking another Smurf in the ass, completely natural, the way Smurf God intended. So this is mostly drawn from their imagination. This is mostly drawn from their imagination than from any personal, intimate knowledge they have of Smurfette. So I like this line here where it's like a tacit acknowledgement that's really weird that like the only porn that exists, and I would assume the only sexual anything that exists in the world of Empath, the Luckiest Smurf, is literally just Smurfette. She is fucking working round the clock. Like, I'm not like just reading into things, am I? Like, it just says it's talking about how it's like been made and such, and then it's like these guys, painter, sculptor, and scribbler, admittedly are the creators of such visual imagery among their peers, although this is mostly drawn from their imagination than from any personal, intimate knowledge that they have of Smurfette. So, like, literally, all of their porn is about Smurfette. That's what I'm getting from this. Their personal knowledge of Smurfette, the only female Smurf that I guess is relevant. I don't know, but it's like, man, that is. I hope she's getting paid more than Mia Khalifa. Maybe she should come back and finally do anal. With the invention of the Imaginarium, however, This is a fucking Nightwish album. Pornography has been taken to a whole new level as the Smurfs themselves can interact with an imagined version of Smurfette. Yeah, it's literally just Smurfette! She's the only fucking female in existence. Oh my god, this is quite some fucking fantasy. Wow, jeez. Fucking hell, I think I've read fucking hentai doujins that are less insane than this. Fucking, wow, I feel like there's some unposted art somewhere on somebody's PC. I'm not gonna say Vic George, but somewhere on somebody's PC exists some art that they haven't posted, or perhaps have only posted to a very secret place of Smurfette, like, through a wall with, like, writing on her body. Anyways, so Window Vision would give you Smurf-related porn to anyone who is interested. But Smurfette took offense to this proposal. I guess that was where she drew the line. Okay, there really aren't any other Smurfs, huh? There really aren't any other female Smurfs that could fill the role. Or get their role filled, more accurately. So, do I have... Oh yeah, I also have this bookmarked. Just separately from this, we have sex here on the Smurfs fan and wiki. What does chat think of the sex and porn pages here on Smurf Wiki? What do you guys think? $10 from Sophie. Have you heard Blind Guardian's new song Point of No Return yet? No, I'm actually waiting for the full album to come out, but somebody in my Discord said that it was kind of disappointing. So from what they heard, so I don't know. I feel like the new album's gonna be a little more like Night at the Opera than it is like any of their other sort of stuff. You know, really overproduced. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's like exactly that's what it was. It was like a unbelievably overproduced wall of sound, fucking like symphonic metal. Let's see. More like their holes filled. More accurately so. Or get their eighth filled. Smurfette can fill the role. No, Smurfette has to have a day off, you know? Like, we need to like... we need to give her a fucking... one of those bad Nightwish albums. Hey! No, Imaginarium's like the best one. Do people unironically listen to fucking early Nightwish? I mean, Wishmaster's pretty good, I guess. But boy, is a lot of it just like Evanescence tier. They only got better after fucking Tarja left. Also, apparently the second chick, what is her name, Annette Olsen? Apparently she was like insane, so that's cool. You know, that always adds some spice to your albums. This is turning into metal hour, like power fantasy metal hour. While we're on the subject of metal, I mentioned on Twitter yesterday, I'm considering trying to do some kind of like listen along. I know I can't do it because of copyright, but maybe I can do like an Anthony Fantano thing. I want to do like, I want to listen to 90s post Bruce Dickinson Iron Maiden. You know when he left Iron Maiden and they had that other guy show up? I want to do like a listen through of that. I feel like that's going to be pretty interesting stuff. Also, Saint Anger. I know that's a little played out at this point, but boy. I listened to Saint Anger in full for the first time a couple years ago, and I was very upset that I could only share my experience with Twitter. So here we might get a Saint Anger listening party with all of the songs removed. You guys will have to do your own work and listen to the fucking songs on your own, and then we can commune, and you can feel like we're having a discussion about how bad it is. It'll be great. What the Smurfette was made for one thing: Smurf mating. Smurfette is the equivalent to the queen of a hive. I guess. That's, boy, bees are fucking lewd now that I think about it. Look at this photograph! That was a deep reference, Claw. Yeah, you know. Obscure little band that nobody's heard of called Nickelback. Smurf incest. This is me seeing a Smurf. Is that a tiny Principal Skinner? Oh no, that's man dancing. Okay. Smurf Bukkake. Where do I buy Smurfette bathwater? Well, we talked previously about buying Twilight Sparkle bathwater in the Gin 1515 video. Maybe Smurfette will have a sale on, you know, have some on clearance. Oh, Smurf me harder, Papa. Homophobic Smurf. By the way, I don't know how true this is, but from what I remember from Chris's descriptions of what she was seeing, Vic George has like a character who some might argue is sort of a self-insert, apparently, who is like, I think it's like his, I forget how it is, but I'm pretty sure it's like Smurfette incest. I think he's like, I think Smurfette's supposed to be like the daughter, and he's banging the daughter or something. It's weird. It's weird. This is just what I remember off the top of my head, but that's potentially also a factor in this story. Smurfette is a thought. Horst Wessel with $10. Check out this furry Discord. They used to post cub and zoo art. There was also a guy who convinced the owner that he was a member of the CIA and a spy. Okay, well, thank you for the link. That's very interesting. Wait, no, shit. No, bad idea. Hang on. I put that down fucking in my Discord for like safekeeping, and then I'm like, wait, no, hang on. I don't want people to fucking brigade this guy's like. I don't want. Well, if they are posting zoo and cub porn, then that's right. Well, I'll keep that under advisement. Thank you very much. That sounds very interesting. I need to just put this somewhere for safekeeping. Okay. And am I missing? Was I missing any super chats? No. No, I'm caught up. So, sex on the Smurf fan and wiki, as you can see. Mainstream Smurfs media. In mainstream Smurf media, it is a topic that is generally avoided due to the characters and their stories being created mostly for children. And any mention of Smurfs engaging in this activity would most likely appear in non-canonical works of an adult nature. However, it can be assumed that the Smurfs do have some level of education on this topic when it comes to how humans and animals reproduce, since the Smurfs themselves can only reproduce through non-physical means. And once again, the fucking mountain of text that we have here for Empath the Luckiest Smurf. It seems a little concerning. I don't know if we need this much text about sex in the Smurf world, but boy, do we ever have like seven. We have like 20 paragraphs here of fucking Smurf sex, and accidentally clicked my jabroni mouse button. So yeah, human cultures. The Smurfs do engage in this form of activity, though it mostly occurs with married couples, since Smurf culture emphasizes moral purity, marital fidelity, and the creation of families as virtues for the ideal use of sex. Right, so none of that impure stuff, you know. You want to make sure your Smurf sex is, like, going along with God. So that's a little bit of the Smurf fan and wiki. We may look more at that further in later on in the stream. There are some more links here. George yeeting a user off the site for being angry that Smurfette and Empath get together. Vic, why did Jokey Smurfette 1 and 2 get blocked? I have no clue. Jokey Smurfette 1 said she was 13 now, so I have no idea. 13. This kid is 13. And this guy, this 87-year-old man, yeets them off the site like, oh, they were causing trouble. In regards to this 12-year-old person, or 13-year-old, Vic is correct about her causing trouble. She was so pro-hefty and hated how Vic handled him in his Empath series. If I remember correctly, she absolutely hated the fact that Empath got Smurf and he didn't. No, the title character got with the only girl in the world? You know, I really don't think that's much of a fucking prize, dude. Talk about sloppy Smurfette is like sloppy fucking thousandths. I think you might want to go and find a reasonably attractive gorilla. I think that might be. No, I'm not promoting zoophilia, but Jesus Christ, not Smurfette. Right. So, okay, I appreciate your words. Yeah. So this 13-year-old got kicked off of the site because they weren't happy that Vic George's self-insert character, who literally sacrificed himself for humanity, for Smurfmanity's sins, wound up getting the girl in the end. So they got kicked off. This 13-year-old girl got kicked off the site. That's cool. Teaching those kids their place, you know? You gotta teach those kids. The Smurf Wiki is not a place for children. I don't know what would have given them that idea. So, number 404, big fan of George. And then I think this links to... Okay, so we're going to go to Vic George's website here. And this is the links page, but we'll get to that. This is just the website as is. We looked at this a little while ago. A stream a few days ago, I think it was like Friday or something. And we looked into... We looked into George here, Vic George, on his website. Now, if you're not familiar, if you're just joining us, let me briefly summarize by saying the reason that I came to this site to begin with, the reason Vic George popped into any of our collective radar at all, was because since the very start on the Smurf, you remember the Smurf torture story from a little while ago? Since the very start, the first page of that story, which was like 2008, Vic George was there actively promoting and praising the story and the author. And now, in the year of our Lord 2019, the month of our year, September, people found the thread again, and they posted, boy, this is disgusting, and this is weird, and you people are all weird for not fucking noticing that this is like a very obvious, like, thinly veiled Smurf fucking torture fic with art to go along with it. Vic George, 10 years after this thing gets posted, like, more than that, like 11 years, is right there in the thread saying, no, this is fine. This is about Smurfs overcoming abuse. That's why it's so graphic. That's why one of the baby Smurfs was senselessly thrown into a fucking dryer. Not being abused by anybody. No person abusing that baby Smurf. Literally just, how can I torture this Smurf today? Oh, I guess we can have the character accidentally put them in the fucking dryer and nearly kill them. That's apparently overcoming abuse. So, Vic George is a big fan of stories that feature such vivid overcoming abuse imagery, as you might be able to expect from a boy like this, you know? So, we looked at this a little while ago. We got an up-to-date clock. That was great. 2 o'clock! We did it! We're not dead! Okay, so, let's look at poems and writings here, which we looked at before. As I mentioned, we found this site a few days back. Actually, somebody, I forgot, somebody on Twitter, I think, DM'd me and said Vic George, one of the people in that thread, has a website, and he's got, like, his face all over it. So thank you. I'm sorry I don't remember the name, but you know who you are. Thank you very much. Because it brought us so many wonders, such as Vic George's poems. Do You Not Understand by Vic George 2000, which I like to imagine is not the year, but is like his rap name. Like, yeah, like Andre 3000. Like, yeah, fella, I'm Vic George 2000, dog. So, yeah. There are some interesting lines in this poem. I'm not going to read the whole thing, because there are quite a lot of words on this page. I'm not going to read all of them, but I am going to read certain interesting ones, such as, go carry your cross up the hill of cavalry, but rather say, these are your problems, not mine. Go carry your cross up the hill of Calvary and come back to me once you hang yourself on it. Your empathy, even though you are a brother, might as well be the same things they spout on Christ. So he's likening himself to Christ here. Very good. How much rebuke can I hope to take before you open your eyes and your ears? The white van man and your ears. That block the root of my words to your heart. I am not Christ himself. I am only a Christian. Shall I keep myself silenced and helpless to you? Allow you to continue accusing me of thinking in Satan's ways? What do you think of that line, chat? What do you think a line like that might be suggesting? What could he possibly mean by thinking in Satan's ways? What possible accusations might have been levied at him that he thinks in such a way? I don't know. Let's take a look here. Let's just take a look here. Satanic Smurf. Satan, I love that guy. That's the line that stood out. Just a little bit of a standout line right there. Some of you are alright. Don't come to Smurfville tomorrow. Click the art tab, bro. I will get to the art, but I did want to just touch on this very briefly. Snorks. Somebody just said snorks, just without any context. Smurfs are a Christian race. Praise Smurf. Closeted Smurf. They need Smurf Jesus. Hail Smurf. I will draw David as a Smurf later. Well, people in the chat are overloading on Smurf. Let me just take a look here. Catch up on these bad boys. Abby Chapman with another $99.99. Can I have the Discord link? Can't see it on Patreon. You absolutely can. I will get that to you just as soon as the stream is over. I'm sure if I stupidly forget, somebody will remind me. But yes, you absolutely can, Abby. You can have anything you like. By all means. Zach Carter with thank you so much. Zach Carter with $5 from Chris. If he's still at the Smurf thing, please ask him to click on the fanfics to see their title cards. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Miss Sky Pie with $1.99. Check out Fluffy Pony Abuse. It's so disturbing. I've heard of that. I'm not that interested in ponies anymore because ponies are kind of a dead meme. Like, everybody knows that there's weirdness associated with ponies, you know what I mean? But I feel like Smurfs have just been this untapped market. Like, there's just been this undercurrent of pure, like concentrated Smurftism happening just under the surface, just bubbling, seething under the fucking surface, like dark energy in a JRPG. And then some evil spell happened, and then it all just came out, and that's what my stream was. I was the evil wizard that unleashed the dark Smurf energy onto the world. I'm sorry, but now we have to deal with it. Now I'm like Magus from Chrono Trigger. I have to join the party and take it down. I'm such a fucking dweeb. Holy shit. The King in Yellow with 25, Ron. I don't know what a Ron is, but thank you. And he says, Ya, Cthulhu Ftang! I don't know how to speak Cthulhu, so I probably said that wrong, but thank you. Ooh, that's not good. My stream health says it's like in the red. I don't like that. Am I effing? Is the chat F? Are we like in F territory? Cause I should probably know about that. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be in the red like that. Check the chat here. Why does Deadwing Dork look like he's on my computer? Is that what your computer looks like? Is it like Angel Fire from 1999? Cause man, that's cool. The Vic George's website is like a hypno-space traveler website. People are now effing. I think because I said F, but then there's other people. There's other people who are saying no Fs. All right, well, Snork Abuse, the Smurfus, deep under the Smurfus. Yes, Just not deep, no, right there, bubbling under the Smurfus, waiting to Smurfus at any moment. That's good. I like that. Came into concentrated Smurfism. Well, that's what it is. Like I was saying, everybody knows that ponies are insane. That there's like weird people with pony fascinations. Everybody knows that. But I feel like everybody's totally missed the weird side of the Smurfs, and that's what I long for. Gargamel did nothing wrong, says someone. I mean, you know, there was this guy in the thread in the original Smurf torture porn story. This one guy that showed up during the story's posting who was like, this is very obviously fucked up. What is wrong with you people? And he had like a Gargamel picture, and he had some like UNICEF ad featuring Smurfs in like a burning down village. And so people were like, how dare you post violence on our forum? Yeah, so in that regard, Gargamel was definitely correct. You're right. Smurf burgers. Banjo Smurfy. Okay, now people are just trying a little too hard. Smurfvore, Ron Weasley. Somebody just says Ron Weasley for no reason. Peyo is rolling in his grave. Yeah, I feel sorry for Peyo. There's somebody in chat named Anime Fago. The Smurfs is the best ethno state, he says, but Anime Fago. I don't think they make that flavor of Fago, but you know, new Juggalo video up on the channel. If you want to get your Fago on, you should check that out. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to show the new video. Smurfus, one more proof for Flat Smurf. Flat Smurf is the one true Smurf. All other Smurfs are fake. Thanks, guys. Doggo Smurf. Gargamel Goat. I made a lemon cake. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Oh, Zara with $1.99. Hey, handsome. Swiggity swooty, gimme that booty. She asked me to do that at the end of the Patreon thing for the last video, and I forgot, so you know what? You get a second one. Swiggity swooty, give me that booty. Yeah. Alright, so I hope that made you happy. So, back to Vic George here. Now, here we are again on his Poets page. He's got more interesting stories here. He's got very interesting stories. I am made wretched in its... oh boy. Let's just read this one in its entirety. I look at myself and wonder day by day, who will ever love me in the flesh? I was made for someone out there, but who would ever become one with me? The flesh that has sustained and protected me has now become a curse upon my soul. For its carnal desires demand satisfaction. I am made wretched in this form, a sheep in wolf's clothing, unworthy, undeserving in the eyes of man, loved only through lusting appetites. The world rejects what I want to give, because it does not come from them. Loved only through lusting appetites. The world rejects what I want to give. Thinking in Satan's ways. Interesting. Very interesting words of your poetry there, Vic. I don't know. Draw your own conclusions, everybody. What that means, what this man has perhaps been, accused of in the past. Draw your own conclusions. I'm not saying anything. I'm just reading some poetry. It really raises some interesting questions. Gift wrapped.
Does anybody want my present? It is the best thing I can offer to you. It has a lot of surprises. something new for each and every day, so you will never be bored. You will get the best and worst of me, my faults and shortcomings, along with my strengths and talents. It has been carefully crafted, handmade with love and tempered steel, as hard as a rock, and yet as soft as pure satin. The best thing about my present is that it's completely compatible with tomorrow's situations, so it changes and grows along with you. Yet I will always remain the same. I've been saving it for someone special. The question is, who wants it?
Interesting poetry, Vic. Very interesting poetry. Hard as a rock, soft as pure satin. I mean, very, right. Okay, so he has a lot of poems. Love for the loser. Uh-huh. On my knees. At least you're on your knees and not somebody else on their knees. My mouth cannot move. Alright. Page 2. Page 2. Come on. David and Wally. This is from 95. This is older. An old friend of mine. We have shared in memory of Carl Beckman by Vic George, 1995. We have shared a common life in a school for us. We have shared a common life in a school for us. I'm sorry, that's minus 10 points on the legitimate literature critique review scale. I'm sorry, Vic, but it's minus 20 points, actually. I changed my mind. We both had problems. We both loved playing Atari. We both hated not going anywhere off grounds. We both lived in group homes. We both liked Twisted Sister. Well, who doesn't? We both loved creating things in pottery class. We both hated jerks that never understood us. We both had
private joys.
We both came from broken families. We both had the same jolly teacher. An old house on Highland Avenue. House sits on a small hill. Ugly thing to see by the light of the day. Oh, that's rude. The Island, 1993. I stood on the raft, gazed at the island, afloat in the lake, alone in the distance. I tensed with fear. Will I be able to make it? Others like me stood and gazed, ready to make their break from the prison of the beach to escape to the island. Is this Lost? Did they fucking rip off this story to make Lost? Oh my god, I knew it. Coming Home by Vic George, 1995, 2002. What the fuck does that mean? Did he, like, touch it up? Was he not happy with it? Was there something in the original story that looked bad and implicated him and he had... Okay, so for far too long, I've waited, not knowing when it will come, for the day to leave behind the place where I've found peace with no one. They can keep me bound in fences, but they can't hold back my mind, thinking about the only place I know, where love is what I'll find. Well, you know, love isn't always on time. For 10 long years I've been away, to where my problems are being fixed, but though I'm better than I was back then, the distance still made me sick. A lot has happened out there in the time that I have grown, though it ain't the same in here and now. I'm still glad to be coming home. I'm coming home to blue skies and green mountains where the rivers are like fountains flowing forever. Okay, well, it's not a good, this is what, like, when I was fucking 10 or whatever, I would write song lyrics and I'd be like, no, I don't need to write a song. It's fine. I know how the song goes in my head. I can hear the music. I don't need to, other people don't need to hear it. I guess that's what he went for. So this is really good, actually. You can just enter your own, like, lyrics here. So Or rather, you can just take these lyrics and apply them to any song. You can make an EDM version of this. You can make dab step. I don't even think that's a thing, but it should be. So is this page 2 or page 3? Oh, here's page 3. Be thankful. As I sit down to say grace, I am thankful for what in life I faced. I am thankful for the good. I am thankful for the bad. I am thankful to still have a mom and a dad. Right, okay. Ownership title. What do you do when things go wrong? Do you do your part of the guilt, or do you disown it and send its bill off to someone else, hoping they will pay it off? Turn everything over onto some unknown innocent. I like how none of these rhyme. One of them rhymed. The Coming Home song rhymed. But everything else is like this avant-garde fucking... I hate when poetry is like... I hate when some poets yeah, no, I don't need to rhyme. It's fine. My words are so good they don't need to have any kind of structure or stanza. They don't need to have any rhythm. Nah. I'm an avant-garde poet, guys. I'm gonna change poetry. Poetry doesn't need to rhyme. I'm gonna defy all your expectations. So... Hands of the guilt... Pay off your debts with a backbone. I saw you in yesterday, when your hair wasn't gray, and your smile as bright as the light of day. I saw you as a child in play. Following the skylines. Dizzy at the sight of myself. No Idea by Vic George, 1995. I have no idea of what I want to create. I have all the tools. I just have no picture in my mind. Someone deleted my hard drive. No words for... Yeah, that was the FBI. No words for making any sound. No backup files, no readmes. I just feel so calculated. Here I am, sitting at the typewriter, staring into white space, wanting to do some black lines of text. Everything and nothing to my confessor. Is this all I can do right now? I still have no idea of what I want to create. Right, what the fuck? I'm feeling rather weird, like I'm just having a baby today. What? Now, when you say having a baby... Alright, well, autumn on the lake, waterfall, bash bish. Can we analyze these rhymes, though? Sometimes they do rhyme, and it might be better if they didn't. On the borderline between two states of being. Bash bish. Like a magic wish.
Bish, are you for real?
Alright, so... Shower in the rain, relaxing my brain. I need not feel shame. Sky, why, guy, cry. Okay, page 4. Generation S. How people see blue. What? Is this about Smurfs? I'm just skimming this now. Naked among you, inspired by his Smurf story. I feel naked among my own brethren, for never have I seen myself in the clothes they wear so proudly, without fear of elements or privacy. I am not accustomed to how it feels in garments that fit too snugly, to bear more than my soul to those barely in more than pants. Even at the same height, you still stood taller. So this is I'm pretty sure this is a poem about Papa Smurf. I'm just reading through it, and, yeah. Even at the same height, you still stood taller. Though gray hair, your hairs have become from your ears, or from your years, well, probably also ears, you still look young to me. We don't wear the same shoes, the same pants, the same hat. We both have the same jeans. Forever in blue jeans. We are both. How can I compare with you? All my life, Papa was your only name. You had the magic and the wisdom. All I had was youth. You took me and my brothers and made us into a family. You know, Empath the Luckiest Smurf is really about family. It's about family. I learned from them. They learned from me. We all learned from you. You were my shelter and my comfort, even when we outnumbered you. Plagued you with our wants and our needs. You helped us. So this is like an ode to Papa Smurf. That's very nice. Very nice. Right. The self-junkie. I love me. I'm so addicted to me. I am all of perfection that I can ever be. Oh God, it rhymes again. Everywhere I go and everyone I see, get the pleasure to know the wonderful presence of me. I don't need chemicals to give me a rush, not when I have a love that's impossible to crush. I love me in every dream I dream. I'm the centerfold of my life's magazine. That's a pretty good rhyme, actually. I like that. A whiskery affair. There once was a child with thoughts that were so wild, who thought it was weird, this thing called a beard. Why do grown men wear a face that grows hair? Is it to make them warm and fuzzy like the cute face or a kitten or puppy? Is it to make them more artistic, intellectual, or realistic? Right, well, he's got a beard now. Two more pages of this. Wandering through the forest, wonderful face, storm at sea. Peace be still, peace be still. Seems like there was less Jesus stuff in the 90s years of Vic George. It's like after 2000 he went hardcore Jesus. The smell of his fragrance remained upon me. What? Hang on. As I work to unlock it, I can feel something warm and liquid pouring over my hand. It looks like blood, yet smells like fragrance. What the fuck am I reading? Looking forward. It's hard to keep on looking forward. Blah, blah, blah. World comes forth in its place. Stealing your crown. And this is straight up Bible stuff. Well, no thanks. Off the deep end. Insert joke here. I feel like being off the deep end, like an astronaut stranded in space, surrounded by a watery vacuum of greens and blues and browns. Right. Okay. Yeah. I think perhaps you have gone too far off the deep end, but that's I don't know. Breaking through, trapped in a maze with no way out. Darkness imprisoning me. The wall is too high for me to climb. There's no stopping. I just need to break through. Alright, well, page 6, what do we got? I think I looked at some of this. There wasn't really anything too special. It's weird how the deck is stacked with, like, all the most interesting and questionable stuff in, like, the first fucking page. Runaway. Acoustical journey. Stepping off into space. It's weird that he seems to have stopped, like, doing this in the last fucking... It's been quite some time since he's done any... I mean, maybe it's not on here. I don't know, but let's take a look at the fanfiction. What you've all been waiting for. Empath the Luckiest Smurf by Vic George. So now, when I first saw this, and I came to this page, I saw all of these links, and I thought, oh, okay. So these are probably the names of the chapters of the stories, right? Chapter 6. There's 6 chapters. Okay. I was gonna be like, this is fucked up. It's like 20 chapters. It's not. Some of them are. Some of them are as many as like 20 chapters. So no, these are not individual chapters. These are their own stories within a series, which is this long. Literally this long. I don't think there are this many Mario games. Empath's Wedding, First Christmas, Smurfette's Genie. Ah, that's hot! Smurfette's Evil Mirror. Pushover, pushes back. Well, then he's not really a pushover, is he? The Magic Flute with 6 holes. I think that's most flutes. A Vision of the Blue Moon. Gargamel's First Catch. The Smurf of Solomon. Shay Empath. Days of Old Lang Smurf. For the Smurf of Money. Where no Smurf has gone before. And of course, Smurfany of the Night. Now, there's a lot here to unpack. Like the No Hug Zone. There's a lot to unpack. Virtual Smurfality.
Smurfality.
Liu Kang wins. But I'm going to go with Smurfany of the Night because, of course I am. So, wow, it's straight up Dracula. Okay. I don't like this. I really don't like that. I really don't like that there is a fucking Smurf Symphony of the Night crossover happening. Or like whatever it is. Smurf stock. This one's 9 chapters. Let's go to chapter 6 because Tamara is scared of the number 6. And I'm mean. During the early half of the next day, Papa Smurf sent it in the Smurf House of Archives. Empath, blah blah blah. Close the casket. Vladimir Smurfula. Castle Smurfenstein. Wait, Smurfenstein? Like Castle Wolfenstein? What? I would smurf that they are... Can you not do this? What the fuck is this? I would smurf that they are resting at Castle Smurfenstein. Why would you smurf that? Why would you not guess that? That seems like a very stupid and inappropriate use of the word smurf. But you know what? I think this entire stream is an inappropriate use of the word smurf. But boy, is that annoying. Just replacing random fucking words with smurf. That I hate it when these internet like I don't want to say laughing stocks. I hate it when people people on the internet who make weird things have like a fucking like affected speech thing that they do to try and be like cute or whatever. I fucking hate that. Good God. Empath's Request, The Great Oak Tree, Lord Vladimir Smurfula. Okay, what happens in chapter 9? Oh, there actually is a symphony this time. Empath could hear the dreaded symphony start up again as Vladimir approached Smurfette. So, at least in Smurfany of the Night, the guy behind it remembered that it was called Symphony. This one's not even called Symphony of the Night, and it's got a symphony. For some reason, Symphony of the Night has no reference to symphonies at all. I think the prevailing theory is it's like referencing some line from an old Dracula movie about like the bats and the wolves crying are the music of the night or something, and so that's why it's called Symphony of the Night. But our boy Vic George, he's got a leg up on the people at Konami because it's not even called Symphony, and it's called Smurfany, and yet he's got a symphony in there. That's good. That is attention to detail. All right, so Die Monster. No? Okay. What is... no? Huh. I figure there would probably... Maybe in chapter 8. Maybe the chapter 9's like the wrap-up chapter. Oh yeah, we've got like physical attacks happening. This is straight up. This is basically the Castlevania Netflix anime. Like 20 years before it happened. Or more. So that's amazing. That's quite something. Season 3 better be fucking soon. By the way. I'm sick of getting fucking edged by Castlevania Netflix. You know what I mean? Like the first season ended before the good stuff happened. And then the second season, I guess, actually ended pretty well. But then they haven't announced the fucking third season yet, and I want to know what's going on in it. It could be like a different story. It could be a different Belmont. Anything could happen. I'm very excited. Well, yeah, so that's a bit of... I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm sorry if you're expecting me to do a dedicated read-through of all of this shit, but that's not going to happen. I know this says... I know it's technically kind of a deep dive, this stream, because it is called a double dive. But this is fine. I don't need to read every fucking one of these. And then there's all this. What is this? Let's get the inside story on Smurfette, because I'm sure a lot of fucking Smurfs in that village have had her inside story. The one Smurf that empaths got his Smurfs on. Our lovely angel in blue, Smurfette. Since her arrival in the village 7 years ago. What the fuck did they do before Smurfette showed up? What, were they just all chewing Sonic Ice to vent their fucking sexual frustration? Right. Smurfette emerges wearing what looks like a watery blue dress, similar to what Madonna wore for the Ray of Light album cover. With similarly styled hair, she sits down on a deep, furry sofa. Well, that is smurftantly a new... Okay, right. So that was Vic George, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm not reading more of that. But I guess before we go, let's look at the artworks. Because, boy, are there a lot of these. Chris shared some. But, you know, it's important, once again... It is important to just look at these pictures with the knowledge that this is real. These are real pictures that were made genuinely, not as a joke, not as a meme, not as a funny hoo-ho post-ironic fucking internet meme. What in God's name? Oh my God, what is this? Somebody made a fucking Smurfs game in like the 90s or something. Oh yeah, 1998. Well, I guess this was relevant back then. These were cutting-edge Smurf graphics back in the day. Yeah, varying quality on these. We're on that one already. What is this? Oh, what's on this page? Get some more fucking weird... Who is this? Oh, Star Trek Voyager. Wow, he's got one, like, picture of another character from something else. Keep in mind this was 96. I don't know how old Vic George is now. I'm pretty sure he is the literal definition of a boomer, though. So, there's that. But I don't know how old he is now, but... I know he started his Smurf fanfiction in 1984, and this happened in... This picture was 1996, so... Probably, some good art. It's very good art. I'm going to put that one right up on the fridge. What is this? Is this also... Once there was a way... I don't know what's going on. Jesus? Here's Jesus, everybody. It's him. It's Jesus. Look at this. There's a fucking reaction image. Anybody need a shocked.jpg? There you go. Make friends instead of war. Let there be peace. I remember watching this documentary with my dad about John Lennon versus like Richard Nixon versus the USA, because like Nixon was really anti-Beatles, I guess. And I'm a big Beatles fan and a big John Lennon fan, but boy howdy did he ever say the dumbest thing I've heard in my life, which was he was sitting in this fucking bed for like a week with Yoko. As like a statement, I don't know, because he's weird. He was a fucking weird dude, and he was like, reporters were asking him, "Why won't you leave the bed? What is this about?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, Nixon just needs to declare peace, man." Well, what does that mean, Mr. Lennon? Yeah, you know, just declare peace, man. Just like declare peace. I love you, Lennon, but boy, man, you must have taken some special drugs that day. So that's some of the art. Let's look at it. Well, honestly, I think that's about it. There was the links page, which again links to Fuck, where is it? God damn it. Again, links to feminist frequency. On the same fucking category as fat, ugly, or slutty. I don't know if feminist frequency would appreciate that, but I guess, you know, I guess our boy is a real turbo feminist good boy. He wants to let you know that that thing you just said was offensive and hurtful to women and minorities, and he is upset on their behalf. Okay, so, right, that was Vic George, I guess. I think that's about it, frankly. There's more. I mean, there's more. There's CBT.com here, but there's, you know, there's a whole entire Smurf fanon wiki, too, which we barely skimmed the surface on. I might look into this in the future, but, like, just random page. Just go to any random page. We got a sauna, empath engaging in steam bathing along with Smurfette. Right. Yeah, random page. Baby Smurf, mirror universe, empath stories. Someday he will be a terrible Smurf who will lead the village like me, but I'm not waiting for someday to happen just yet. Mirror universe Papa Smurf. So he's an evil baby Smurf, everybody. The only kind of the only kind of Smurf it's okay to hang up by bulbous tails. Right. Well, yeah, you know, that's a little bit of Vic George and some of the interesting things that he's put on the internet. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting. So I'm going to transition over to Noodles and Beef, a.k.a. Dylan Hofferteppen, a.k.a. I don't know, some kind of weird fucking gay bear sex death cult. I don't know. I don't know much about what's going on there. It's pretty wacky. I'm gonna be exposed to a lot of it for the first time, like you probably, and that's probably no pun intended. Well, no, that's probably. I don't know if the pun was intended. It was intended after I said it, because there's a lot of pictures of balls. Obviously, I can't show the pictures of balls and other, you know, sexualized gay imagery. I can't show these lewd, indecent, awful things on my stream. I can only show Smurf torture. That's allowed by YouTube, but not balls. So. Yeah, but we're going to be taking a look at that. I just want to catch up here on the super chats. We got $5 from Actual Miku. Oh, whoa, yes, Smurf Daddy. XXX Smexy Smurfs. Streaming was a mistake. Thank you very much. Crikesy8, $5. I find it difficult to imagine an adult on this website, but it looks like they're the only ones on it, and I'm scared. Oh, you mean the fanon wiki? Yeah, no, as we covered earlier, there was a 13-year-old who was on the wiki who was upset with the fact that Smurfette wound up banging fucking Vic George's self-insert character in his story. So Vic George decided to boot this 13-year-old off of the Smurf website. Because they don't fuck around on smurffanonwiki.co.cock. They... Serious business there. It is serious times. Zach Carter with $5. There are 89 separate empath books. 89! Not including the extended universe of narrator and reporter. I think it's worth mentioning that the man has like 20-something thousand fucking edits on his wiki, too. And all these posts on the Blue Buddies website that the Smurf torture porn was on. Like, this man has written more... This is basically the Smurf equivalent of, like, Tolstoy. He's basically Smurf... This is basically Smurf in peace. Yeah, so... It's quite some shit. Quite indeed some shit. Now, I have to check here on Ein Discord. Fate sent some interesting stuff. By the way, Fate, please don't ping me when I'm... I know you think it's funny to send discordsound.ogg while I'm streaming. But I can assure you it's only funny to you and everybody else watching and not me. So you should probably keep doing it. But right now I'm on streamer mode, so it won't work. But yeah, Fate, aka generic McName in chat. Big props to him, and also big shout outs to Assumed Chris again for doing a lot of the digging into the Vic George thing. Finding out a lot of finding some of his interesting art and some other stuff. It was very, very nice of her to organize it in that document. And yeah, so here we are. Fate posted just so many insane. Oh boy, there's a documentary. Well, I guess we can start with this. So, oh no, we probably shouldn't start with this. Actually, this is not a good thing to start with. This is not a good thing to read to begin with. But this requires a little more context, I'd say. Let me just get this open here. And what is this? Brutes and Daddies. Boy. Right. So, okay, I guess this works. Probably going to need to save a bunch of pictures. I'm sorry, I probably should have... Fate sent a bunch of this stuff, and some of it was links, some of it was pictures, and I didn't think to actually save the fucking pictures, because I'm a rube. I am one whole rube. In cubic form, you might say. A Rube's cube. Some sort of Rube cube. But yeah, I have to save a few of these. There's some of these here. I don't know if I need to show all of it, but I'll show at least 2 of these, because there is so fucking much that there's so much shit in this noodles and beef rabbit hole that I can only really skim over a few things. But I will try to curate it as best I can. So the best place to start, I guess, would be with this lad, who I believe Fate asked me specifically to call him Jack instead of the name that this guy Dylan Hafferteppen gave him. Let me find, where is it? There you go. I think this is okay. This is okay, right? Yeah, this is probably fine. So, there is a man by the name of Jack something. I don't know his last name, but he was one of this Dylan Hafferteppen guy's pups. And what that entailed was getting silicone injected into himself to fit Dylan's desires. And a lot of, apparently, like, emotional abuse and things like that. Because here we have him, I guess this is like on a Tumblr or something, saying, let's get a few things established. I am shit. I am a shit person. I do horrible and inexcusable things. I am dishonest. I am deceitful. I am a coward. I am stupid. I hurt my master. I don't deserve love. I don't deserve forgiveness. I only deserve to suffer. A pup needs to ask his master and get his permission to meet with people, do activities which are outside of his regular routines. A pup also needs to be upfront with his master about things that might seem suspicious and ask his advice. A pup is to avoid even being in situations which could potentially arouse suspicions in his master. The fuck? What was this? Oh, what was that shit? Just find this again. Oh god. There you go. Here you go. It doesn't need to be so complicated. I just need to find it, you know. Trying to get this resized here. Last Sunday I was cutting off my bear's nose slightly. That's a little weird. Last Sunday I was invited to the house of a long-term platonic friend. I've known about him for a long time, and for almost as long he's talked about his dream of refinancing his mortgage and building a hot tub in his backyard. Over my time in the United States, He actually built it and was proud to show me, and that was part of the invitation. I asked Master for permission to take up the invitation, and he agreed. When I spoke to Master about the hot tub, we agreed it was a situation that would arouse too much uncertainty, and I was to avoid the hot tub altogether. Right, so this guy, this dude, this one, god damn it, this one, fucking OBS. This guy here is named Jack. And sadly, he died because of apparently the silicone injections that Dylan asks his pups to have done to themselves. These silicone injections, they aren't really all that safe, and they kind of wind up like drifting, much like a Joy-Con. The silicone injections wind up drifting out of your like place that you had them in, and just like into your bloodstream, and then you fucking die. And there are a few cases of this apparently happening, and we're gonna read more about that. But yeah, that's what unfortunately happened to Jack here. And I've been asked specifically to call him Jack because the name that he is kind of more known by now is the one that Dylan gave to him as his pup. And if you're not familiar, Dylan, the one that I keep referencing, is this guy who's in the thumbnail. This handsome lad is named Dylan Haferteppen, and he is the one with this strange group of men who inject themselves with silicone and call him Master. It's almost like my Discord server. Right, so fucking, let's see, what do we got? Yes. I asked Fate, is this the one who died? And he says yes, and then I said one of the ones, rather. And I said, aren't there multiple? He tells me not to call him Tank and call him Jack instead. And then he says, 4 with the body modder that got Clintoned. Apparently there's a 4th individual who there's a 4th individual who died who was related to Dylan Haferteppen's activities in some way, but it's said that he suspiciously committed suicide, in the style of 2 gunshots to the back of the head, unfortunate, untimely Jeffrey Epstein suicide. So there's a site here which I'm going to open, which is called tankhaferteppen.com, and it is the home page. It's the tribute page for this man who sadly passed. This man Jack, whose last name I actually don't know. I don't know if I want to say it, but if I did, but yeah, Jack, not Tank, because fuck that. But here's the site. And this was a site put together by the man in this picture. Not this man, but this was a site put together by the Master talked about in these pictures. The one who, like, makes poor Jack feel like he's shit and a shit person who does horrible and inexcusable things. The one who makes Jack feel like he doesn't deserve love and doesn't deserve forgiveness and only deserves to suffer. That Master. That's this boy. Doesn't he look like a nice boy, though? Also, props to Bear Talk episode 46, I guess. This was just the picture. This was just seemed like a good profile shot for him for the thumbnail. So I went with that. But yeah, this is the Master, everybody. This is the guy replacing John Sim on Doctor Who. That's a bad joke. John Sim hasn't been on Doctor Who for like 10 years. I'm such a boomer. Anyways, so yeah, this is the site that this fellow has put up in relation to, or in memorial for Tank Hafferteppen, aka not Tank, because that's the fucking bullshit name that this guy gave to him, Jack. This is a digital memorial for Jack by his partner Dylan Hafferteppen. Content is a mix of our original photography and blah blah blah. Donating to the AIDS Alliance. Why would he donate? Why would we donate to the AIDS Alliance, Dylan? I mean, I understand that that's a very valid and good charity, I'm sure, but what does AIDS have to do with this? Didn't Jack unfortunately pass because of a silicone injection? I think I can show this. I think this is fine. Yeah. Eulogizing my partner. He finds comfort in how Jack looked at death. He was a militant atheist. This is interesting. This is bringing back some Channeling Eric vibes. You know, the loving family member or spouse or whatever who makes a great tribute to talk about how wonderful they are. Yeah. Selfishly to immortalize the man I love. I don't know how much of this I can show, but I'm sure it's not going to get too racy on a memorial page. Yes, Jack Chapman. That's right. That is his name actually. So we can call him that. So yeah, this is a site that this guy put together for his spouse, who I don't know the whole story, but from what I can see, and based on things like, let me just check this. Hang on a sec. Fade also sent me this pup master contract. It's an abuse contract. And I think it's fine. I think I can show this. But, rules and responsibilities. Pup has received a few questions from prospective pups and masters regarding the rules of Pup's relationship with his master. Pup has been rather hesitant to post this list because he didn't want to characterize his relationship as purely restrictive. And important to note about master and pup-slave relationships is that while rules and responsibilities are very important, blah, 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 blah. So keep in mind, our boy Jack, who unfortunately passed, he's the pup in this situation. And Dylan Hafferteppen is the master. The master is only interested in his pup's complete, enduring, and total loyalty. A pup will profess his love, his loyalty, and his devotion to his master at all opportunities he can. As a pup progresses deeper into his subspace, a pup may find his ability to create words and coherent sentences is diminished. Whimpering and grunting are usually considered adequate substitutions. When a pup is in a subspace, he is not to look directly at his master's face. A pup has not earned that privilege, and a pup is not worthy of looking upon the perfection of his master's face. Master's word is law and must be trusted and obeyed. In an ideal mindset / subspace, master's word should overwrite a pup's internal reality and be accepted as an absolute truth. A pup may request politely and subserviently for privileges and action to be taken by his master, but a pup may never demand, force, or otherwise coerce either of these from his master. A pup may not ask for any demand or ask for or demand any sort of physical attention or recognition. This is a privilege master can bestow at his own discretion. When a pup craves physical attention, he may present himself in groveling posture and whimper for his master, but is to understand this does not automatically mean master will give his attention. Yeah, just a loving relationship between these two. Dylan here memorializing his spouse, who definitely was not being in any way emotionally or abused or in any other way abused. Pup is to be completely emotionally dependent on his master. No sense of value or identity outside of that which is given to him by his master. Pup is to act in a professional, respectful, and submissive manner at all times. A punished pup must grovel before his master. I don't know if this was written by Tank, or not Tank, but Dylan. I don't know if this was written by Dylan, or if this was written by another one of Dylan's, like, posse, or whatever he calls them, but he might have wanted to put it through a little bit of an editor first. Pup's body is the exclusive property of his master. As such, the body must be treated as precious item. A pup is never to put himself into situations which may put him into harm's way. You mean like injecting fucking silicone into your balls? You mean like that? That reminds me, I forgot to put CBT in the title of the stream. Hang on a second. Can't believe I don't have CBT in the title of the stream. Gay buff death cult. Gay. Let me change that to the gay CBT death cult. There you go. And while I'm here, I'll check. $20 again from Tamara Jerusik. Midstream check-in. I'm not watching you, but I love you, Poppy. Heart, heart, heart. Sadly, Tamara has to work today, but when she does watch the stream later and finds out that I massively called out her fear of the number 6, she's going to be very upset, but thank you very much. Dull Maki with $5. Silicon Gate. Totally Not Connor, $5. As a gay, I feel like I should just clarify that we all aren't like this, I promise. I believe you. I think there's a lot of people out there who have issues with this, and I think actually there's a majority of the people who are upset about this whole situation are like actual gay people who feel like this is maybe not being like talked about as much as it should be, and I could see where they might be coming from with that. A pup will submit to all orders for body modifications, including piercings, tattoos, scrotal saline inflation, as well as body growth supplements, including steroids and HGH, in accordance to the wishes of the master. A pup can always give more of himself at all times and in all aspects of service. Now, I'm not some kind of psychologist or something. I don't know, like, I can't for sure say, oh, this is an incredibly fucking dangerous mindset to be in, and clearly represents some fucking problems. I'm not qualified to say that, but I'm gonna say that in most cases, if I was dating somebody and I told them that I have the exclusive right to their like body modification, and I can be like, yeah, no, you have to like get your fucking leg cut off just so I feel like we're even. I feel like that would be bad. I think people wouldn't like that, and probably she would probably break up with me. That's just a guess. I'm just guessing. But you know, that's you know, maybe it's different. Maybe I just don't understand the master pup relationship. Although I have actually been in a sort of dominant role in a relationship before, and this would have been fucking mental in that situation. But hey, everybody's different. So presentation, sexuality, a pup's sexuality is the exclusive property of his master at home, blah blah blah. As you can see, this is a very long list of like, this is almost approaching this. Okay, actually it's quite a bit more disturbing than well, yeah, it's the disturbing gay equivalent of like Sheldon from fucking Big Bang Theory and his like stupid roommate agreement. Don't ask me why I know specific details about Big Bang Theory. Just don't ask me that. I just do. It's like osmosis. It just happens. It's like Osmosis Jones. So there's a bit of this contract which Jack signed, this lad, who sadly passed. Just trying to drive home what's going on, because I'm not fully 100% on this whole situation, so I'm trying to, like, catch myself up and everybody else. So, basically, this guy here became the pup to this guy, who... His rules for Jack's pupdom, I don't know what you call it, being a pup, his rules in his relationship with Jack include but are not limited to, like, fucking him having the right to tell Jack to get, like, a scrotal saline injection and all kinds of shit like that. A pup is to be completely emotionally dependent upon his master. Master has the power to lift his pup's spirits to extreme highs, as well as bring them down as required. Short times away from one's master will make a pup feel uncomfortable. Long periods away are enough to cause extreme mental distress. So, again, I'm not an expert, but I feel like a few of us in the chat could probably look at this and say, yeah, I feel like that's pretty deeply psychologically fucked up. I feel like that's no good. I feel like that is in no way good. So, just keep that in mind as I look here through the list here of some interesting things. Oh yeah, that's also interesting. He says... Fate says, note that he calls him Tank Hafferteppen. Instead of calling him Jack Chapman, which was his name, he calls him Tank Hafferteppen. I don't think they were actually married. I don't know if gay marriage would have been legal where they were at that time or what, but I don't think they were actually married. I'm not sure of that. But, over and above giving him a fake first name, he also calls him by his given name. Dylan Hafferteppen's given name, calls him Tank Hafferteppen, and Fate says is like he's some sort of possession for Dylan, which is really quite something. Now, I'm sitting here debating with myself whether or not to click on the link to BuzzFeed that he posted, because he says it is BuzzFeed, but it's a good article. And I think, honestly, I am sorry, everybody, but I am going to open the BuzzFeed article. I know. But to give you just the most brief of catch-ups on, like, what's happening, maybe this will help, you know? BuzzFeed is good for basic bitches, so we're all basic bitches here. We don't know what's going on, at least I don't, so you know, there's a Smurf right there. There's a Smurf. We're connecting everything, so... Here is an article from like last year from BuzzFeed. Again, I know, I'm sorry, we won't be here for long, but Tank Hafferteppen, I think it's better to call him Jack, but yeah, and his dom boyfriend Dylan ran a popular blog about their relationship, but after Tank's death from testicular silicone injections, their fans said Dylan was responsible. Jack Chapman made a lot of big changes during his relationship with his romantically dominant boyfriend. He changed his name, his country, his friends. He also changed his body, bulking up his chubby frame to Marvel superhero breadth. Then he dramatically changed the size of his genitals. It killed him. Australia-born Chapman legally changed his name. Okay, it was legally changed. So, I mean, he changed it. But I don't know, when you're in a relationship that has this many fucking rules about being, like, straight up, you are ordered to be extremely mentally distressed if the master is gone for a while. That is a rule. You have to be distressed if your master is not around. So in a relationship like that, I'm not sure how much we can say that Jack Chapman, chose to legally change his name to Tank Hafferteppen. But that's what the article says. About 6 years after striking up a submissive relationship with Dylan Hafferteppen, a heavily tattooed and beefily muscular dom. Over the course of their 7-year relationship, the pair became minor social media personalities among gay bears, husky, hairy gay men. Don't worry, we know all about gay bears here on this channel. Enamored of their size, particularly the apparent size of Tank's genitals. During his time with Dylan and with his online fans' encouragement, Jack had been enlarging his scrotum and penis with silicone injections, a body modification both dangerous and illegal. The fetish is typically associated with a gainer mentality, a consuming desire to enlarge your body, to put on as much weight as possible. Some gainers want muscle, others fat. For Tank, a self-described gainer, silicone injections to his genitals drew immediate praise and encouragement on social media. As one fan said of a picture he posted to Tumblr, that underwear bulge. Swoon! What a handsome Minotaur man you are, smile, wrote another. That junk down south looks amazing. Bet your master lays on that bulge like a pillow every night. On October 9th, he was admitted to the hospital with trouble breathing. He died 6 days later from lung problems caused by a silicone embolism. So I'm not going to read the rest of the fucking BuzzFeed article, but yeah, that's your brief catch-up on what happened. What happened? Apparently that. So here is a link to something called Noodles and Receipts. Noodles and Beef, I believe, is the name of the blog or something. I'm not sure, but Noodles and Receipts. So this is a Tumblr giving us the skinny, the receipts. You've all been lied to, and here's the receipts. Noodles and Receipts, to call out the abuser and the fans who love him. Now, I think Tumblr got purged of all of its questionable content, but, you know, let me just check this to make sure. Oh, God. I have the fucking hiccups. This is great. Justice for Jack, the project. Alright, well, I think this page is fine. This should be fine. Don't worry, we will not boomer this stream. There you go. Noodles and Receipts. This is an update on Jack's death certificate, which changed the cause of death from natural to accidental. So this one's not coming in, but they changed the death certificate. Isn't that weird? Mom blames sex cult master. I remember reading about this supposed cult of his, and reading, I think the mom said something about how fucked up it was. And she said that like it was straight up a cult mentality where he just like left home and he was like, no, I'm gonna find a better life with, you know. And so there's that. That's interesting. If you think that this is just a single like relationship between just Jack and Dylan, it's not. I think it was like a big open relationship harem fucking thing on Dylan's behalf, where he was like the master of like several pups, and a number of them apparently have died. So big fucking on that one. Silicone injection comparison. Alright. Jack Chapman died last week. I've been going back through our texts, old photos, and talking with his friends. There are a few things I haven't said before that I think I need to say now, and there are some things that need clearing up. His name. When I knew Jack, his name was Tank Chapman. Later, he took Dylan's last name, becoming Tank Hafferteppen. The name Tank was important to him and something that he expressed joy and pride in. But it was also a marker of Dylan's control and erasure of his identity. This is a complicated matter because Jack eroticized a lack of control. But one of his closest friends told me that he expressed a desire to change his name back to Jack. That's what I'll call him here. His death. A friend of my sir pulled the death certificate in Seattle. Jack didn't die as a result of an undiagnosed lung condition. He died because of silicone poisoning. He was not, as Dylan claimed, alive on Tuesday. He wasn't rather upset about the rumors of his death, and he didn't care about finding out who spread them. He wasn't studying for the GRE. He had been dead since Monday morning. I don't know how long Jack was in the hospital, and I don't know what his experience was like there, but I know that Dylan isolated him and kept his death from his friends, and that makes me deeply uncomfortable. I don't know if Jack would have wanted privacy or how he would have felt in those final days, but if he did want his friends there, I know they would have been there for him. Submission and abuse. Jack was deeply submissive and found joy, love, and belonging in his relationship with Dylan Hofferteppen, Noodles and Beef. He eroticized an uncommon level of physical and emotional domination. It was difficult for me to tell whether Jack's relationship, involving behavioral restrictions, physical changes, reverence toward his master, and deep shame at disappointing him, were hallmarks of abuse or a part of a healthy master-slave relationship. Many submissive boys struggle with depression and other mental health issues. When Jack expressed feelings of shame and inadequacy or negative feelings toward Dylan, I was unsure as to whether these feelings were caused by his relationship or whether Dylan was doing his best to be there for a man in the grips of a depressive episode. And when Jack turned to Dylan and expressed happiness at being accepted into the family again, well, maybe it was all right after all. Because of this ambiguity, there's pages here of stuff. It took years for me to decide that Jack's relationship with Dylan was abusive. Finally, Jack told me that he was being abused, that he was scared, and that he needed to escape. He told other friends he was being abused, and while much of Dylan's manipulation remains subtle and ambiguous, he took concrete actions which cannot, I feel, be interpreted as a part of a healthy dom/sub relationship. He isolated Jack from his friends and used legal and financial threats to reassert control when Jack tried to leave. In December 2016, Jack told me that he needed to get out of the relationship, that he was scared of Dylan, and he expressed concern for Dylan's mental health. Keep it to yourself. I believe this is Jack writing this. Keep it to yourself, but for my own sake, I need to develop an exit strategy for myself. I'm scared of him. Also, I know in leaving I won't be able to talk to my other partners. In March of 2017, Jack left the relationship. Dylan threatened Jack with small claims court if he talked about the relationship. Jack told me that Dylan had covered his rent as a gift, and that gift unexpectedly became a loan when he left. The $4,700 Dylan sought, roughly 1.5% of Dylan's annual income, would have completely wiped out Jack's escape fund. I had to get out of that to save myself. He threatened me last night and that if I talked about our relationship, he'd take me to small claims court. His desire for control runs deep, but I know that my silence is his power. So this stream will probably wind up getting taken down. Am I still alive? Is my stream still happening? Do I still have a channel? What's going on here? This is probably going to happen, so keep that in mind. That could be some interesting stuff. Hey, listen, Dylan, I'm not saying anything either way. I'm just showing stuff that's on the internet, you know? This is a publicly available, publicly traded website, my man. I completely... I'm not offering my own opinions here. Well, no, I guess I am. I did say that that relationship contract thing seemed a little bit interesting. Little extreme. But, yeah, you know, this is what we're reading. From what I can see... And I don't know, you know, this could all be bullshit, for all I know. For all I know, this could be bullshit. From Afir here. I don't know. But it sounds plausible, where he's saying that Jack basically knew that it was time to get fucking out. And then he seemed to have died. No, I don't think that's the reason, but yeah, I don't know. Where do we go from here? Dylan has 4 other boys who are in the family proper. While their stories are their own to tell, I suspect they may face similar challenges as Jack. Right. Note about silicone and saline. Right. Well, that's enough of Tumblr for now. Let me take a look here at the super chats. $9.99 from Shads. I make a stream finally, and it's a CBT stream. Score? I mean, I don't know if you call this a score. This is some pretty fucked up shit. CBT is nice, goddammit. CBT is supposed to be a loving, caring thing between two people who love each other. not your fucking silicone ball injections going haywire and you like fucking not being able to breathe. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot more here. There's New York Times articles. There's a link to the QE Farms thread, of course. Just drop this down here. Number of videos about justice for Jack. Death of a kinkster from The Stranger. Oh, and I was asked specifically to use a picture, which I think he sent me, but I think I already have it. So I don't have to save it again. Oh no, I don't have this one. I have a different one. Okay, I'll save this one. Fate specifically demanded. He demanded at gunpoint, no less. Not really, but he asked that I include this picture. This is a very serious stream. You know, this went from fun time Smurf stories to very serious things that are not really that fun. So here's Expand Dong. There you go. You got a little bit of memes. You got some memes. Expand Dong. It's because he expanded his balls, you know. So expand. Right. Okay. Now. Let's see. Archive of another of his pup's origins. Oh boy, I'm being linked to something called "This is the Man He Murdered." I do not. Listen. These are some very serious claims, and I'm not saying any kind of thing. I don't know enough about this to say, oh yeah, definitely. Oh, now I'm here again. What? Fucking. I don't know enough about what's going on to like make any definite claims, but here is this. Thank you. Your pup loves you so much. So I don't know, is this Jack or is this a different pup? I'm not sure. But yeah, apparently according to what I was linked, it's a man he murdered apparently. I don't know anything about that, but now I'm seeing some Naruto boys. Oh, young twink Dylan. Oh, okay. Okay, so I think we're gonna round the stream off now. I think I've probably showed you enough. Oh, I was hang on. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. I was slightly boomerang. I showed this. And well, no. Okay. It was just a picture of a man with an orange beard. I wasn't sure if it was Jack or it might have been another one, but yeah, this is what I'm being shown, and then I showed this, which is apparently a picture of young Dylan Hofferteppen before he was before he looked like this. He looked like this. How about that Naruto headband there, guys? Okay, well, I tried to. Anyways, yeah, I think that'll probably about do it. Honestly, there's a lot more here. This is what Dylan does to people. Master will decide when enough is enough. I trust his judgment, and I think we're on the same page. Yeah, I'm getting. There's so much stuff here. Fate, I'm so sorry that you did all of this work and there's just like so much. There's way more than I could ever look at in one stream. He's quoting one of his pups saying, "Does my dick work? Maybe. It's not supposed to. I'm Dylan's bottom." And then he links to a guy named Joe Quater or Quater. who reportedly committed suicide just shortly before he would have been arrested for manslaughter. And potentially, I guess, named names in court. So that's interesting. Bit of a Jeffrey Epstein going on there. Another archive. Oh, yeah, Fate has another suggestion here for something that I do after I talk about this man who apparently killed himself. I can't. No. No, that's a different. That's a different one. Okay, there you go. And here we go. Oh yeah. Very important. Maximum important. So in honor of our boy who apparently killed himself just moments before testifying and mentioning names, this one goes out to you, Jack Quater.
Jim! Call 911! Jim!
Joe Quater, sorry.
Jim! How could you have done this? Jim!
How could you?
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide?
Okay, so, that was a request from Fate. I think it was a good request. It was very fitting, so thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, so, fingerless gloves. And then Fate starts talking about something called a Bambi Sleeps Bimbo Hypnosis. It's a man who uses MK Ultra tier mindfucking to induce dissociative personality disorder into men to make them into bimbo trannies. This is what I'm reading. This is just words on the screen. He also mentions briefly what killed Jack, which is silicone embolism. TLDR, silicone is injected freely into the dick and balls, and as silicone does, it migrates unless it's encapsulated into an implant. So over time, it will move and displace itself with no regard for what happens to the flesh. So some of this shit hit its bloodstream and got caught in the artery of his lung, killing him. Luckily, Dylan has injected his own cock and balls too, so he knows he's a ticking time bomb too. Fox! Die! So, bipolymer remover. A lot of stuff about this. A lot of pictures of balls. Oh god, this is fucked up. So, after Jack unfortunately died, Dylan made an urn for him. And keep in mind, I think this happened after they apparently, like, broke up or whatever, and, like, Dylan was reportedly threatening him with, like, small claims court or whatever, and threatening him about talking about what happened during their relationship. After that, Jack dies, and Dylan has this lovely urn made for him to commemorate what a good little pup Jack was. This thing that he owned possession of, and not a human. By no means a human being. Here's your pup urn. Isn't that cool? Isn't that how you want to be remembered, guys? As one of your pups. Not an important person. Just one of many pups. That is great. That is just fantastic. Let's see here. Why did I tell Fate, ooh, keep them balls coming, oh whoa. Some Bambi sleep shit. I don't know what Bambi sleep hypnosis is, but you can expect we're looking into that at some point. Yeah, so that should about do it, I think, for Noodles and Beef. Just again, I don't know the truth of any of this. All of it could be bullshit. This could all be a horrible conspiracy meant to frame an innocent man. But, you know, there's a lot of varying testimony out there from a lot of people. And there's a lot of words on the internet and material on the internet that can lead people into their own conclusions. They weren't married, Fate says. Dylan is married to another guy. So they weren't married, but Jack was like, I guess, convinced by him. Yeah, you should change your name to mine so you're my possession. I'm not gonna marry you, but you can have my name. You can be one of my like things that I own. And then when you die, we'll get you a nice little pup urn. That is so cute. That is just so nice, guys. Yeah. So that's Noodles and Beef. Once again, take from this what you will. You know, interesting stuff. Very interesting. I'm not making any claims about anybody, but certainly are some words on the internet. I'm sorry if you're expecting me to go off real hard on everybody. Like, one of these days I'm gonna get somebody suing me, and frankly, it's just a little easier to say I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just a stupid bear on the internet. But than it is to like. I listen. I'm not. I'm just a stupid bear on the internet. So that's all. That's all that is. Let me take a look here at the. I'm caught up on the super chats. Let's take a look at the main chat here. See if people are still doing Smurf puns. I hate this guy, dork. Can I beat him? I mean, you don't need to. I do not endorse this sort of thing. Poor Jack, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. Very, very unfortunate. What happened to the good old days where you inject cocaine? Yeah, man. Back when I was 5 years old, I was injecting fucking crystal meth directly into my cock vein. And look how far I've come. Dogs get more respect after death than this poor guy. Yeah, that's... Not wrong. Not wrong. Do a video on Pazuzu? What the fuck is Pazuzu? Why is everybody saying Pazuzu? Oh, now they're saying Pazoo-woo. What the fuck is Pazuzu? I didn't say Pazuzu, did I? I said Bambification. Is that a different thing? Oh my god. Also sounds like he's killed more than one for sure. I don't know what the story is with the other deaths related to this whole situation. I know that one of them apparently got Clintoned, as fate puts it. But I don't know... I don't know about the other ones. There's Jack, and then there's, I guess, a few other people that have at least been linked to that whole thing. I don't know how true it is, but it's out there. This is legit disgusting. Pupperoni thought I said his name. This must be a very difficult stream for you. I'm sorry. Just every 2 seconds, it's like having a Discord notification appear in a video. So you just have to check, and you get very mad when you realize, God damn it, I'm still, like, nobody loves me. Nobody's giving me notifications. It's just a fucking video. So, I'm sorry. Jack went back to Dylan, then died in his care. This is what somebody's saying. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. After somebody leaves you, and then they come back, and they're very clearly like the submissive part of the relationship, and they leave because they're scared of you, and like, and then they come back, and it's like, I don't know. It's interesting. Sure, it would have changed Dylan's view on Jack. You know what I mean? I don't know. Can't wait for Dylan to experience the same horrible... Oh, that's an interesting chat message. Got people dapping in the chat. Yes, bimbofication is a thing. I know bimbofication is a thing. Like making like getting your girl to wear like bimbo dresses, but I didn't realize there was like mental bimbo hypnosis. Gay bimbo hypnosis. That's what I'm hearing. It's mimbo, really. But I did not commit it. I did not. Forced feminization. Let's go. We're gonna do a video. Apparently there is somebody named Pazuzu who I apparently need to fucking talk about. So I guess I'll look into that. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I think that'll about do it for the stream. Thanks everybody for stopping by on this probably Bimbo bread. Bimbo! Okay, thank you for stopping by on what may possibly be the last ever Dead Wing Dork stream. Between an angry old Smurf boomer who might get me, like, taken down, and apparently a very privacy-concerned Jake. Where did Jake come from? What the fuck? Dylan Hafferteppen. Prone to, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get my third Onision video out before this stream gets claimed and my channel gets taken down, so that Onision can claim that video and take my channel down. So fingers crossed. The life of a YouTuber's fun. Ronson with $2. Pazuzu is the demon in The Exorcist. Pazuzu! Yes. Sucks cocks in hell, I believe. Or, no, I think that was the priest. Anyways. Thank you, everybody, for your super chats and your stopping by the stream. And if you haven't taken a look yet at the new Juggalo forum video that I posted yesterday morning or last night or something, you might want to take a look at that. Tamara Jerusik says that it's her favorite video on my channel, so you know, that's pretty high praise. I don't know if it's my favorite video on the channel, but I do know that there's angry juggalos who are very upset that I don't know my juggalo lore. They're very mad. I'm a stupid man who's profiting off of something I know nothing about, according to one such juggalo, who I think I was going to pin the message of, but I forgot to, so you can find that if you want to. But anyways, yeah, take a look at that video if you haven't. Maybe watch some other videos on my channel. Maybe you want to like the video. You want to subscribe. I just banged into my keyboard for some reason, but you do it. You subscribe. Do it. Don't let your memes be dreams. All right. Don't let your streams be dreams. I'll see you guys. Penis and
Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for that booty.
You got a third one. You got a third one, Zara. You better be happy. All right. I'll see you guys. Smurf penis. Swollen CBT penis.